Alrighty, hi, I'm Patricia Rosatello. I am really happy that you've joined me for just a few minutes here as we talk about one of the biggest issues I see on a website that significantly affects your conversion rate. So I can't begin to tell you how many times I've seen people complain about their website. I can't make anything sell. My conversion rate sucks. How do I get more sales? Right. Your website plays a huge part in this, and most people don't have any idea how big a part it really is. So we're going to look at that here. Why can't I get more conversions, more sales from it? Yeah, that's a big question, and I see people asking this all the time. They ask it a bunch of different ways. This is what it comes down to. But here we're going to look at how to capture a heck of a lot more opt-ins. Opt-ins, of course, link to sales, and how to position your business as the unopposed leader in your market in what you sell. This is the real problem. So just a little bit about me. Here's a picture of me with Dan Kennedy in 2017. No, I don't usually walk around with this stupid of a grin on my face. I was pretty overwhelmed. But what happened was in 2008, I connected with Joe Nicasio. Now, I had tried a number of different small businesses over the years. I'd never quite figured out the marketing. Marketing and sales, it was kind of this, nefarious thing. I didn't know how to figure it out. So I finally found Joe Nicasio, and he taught me a lot about marketing, especially about retail, even wholesale sales of stuff, a lot of stuff. Oh my gosh. I'd never read any of this in any of the books that I'd read. And he also introduced me to, primarily through their books, but people like Dan Kennedy, Jay Abraham, there was quite a few others. And between all of these people, I have learned some very solid marketing principles. And so today, I am the founder and president of Rosatello Consulting, which is a coaching, consulting, and marketing agency for small businesses just like yours. I am the author of a good number of books. These are two of my books. They are on Amazon. And I am a contributor to the Six Figure Coach magazine. So the big turning point for me, the really big turning point for me, was figuring out this, how to get into the conversation in a prospect's mind. Now, I'd heard people tell this before. I'd been to marketing events where, marketing boot camps where we learned this, and it was, yeah, but how do I do it? And this format seemed to work. When I got it there, it made sense. So this is the mind of our prospect. Now, our prospect has a problem that they don't want, and they have a result that they don't have. And when we can articulate both the problem and the result the way that they do, then our marketing really takes off. Here's why. The reason is because then we can use the conversion equation. And this is what it looks like. Interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. Okay. Interrupt is our headline, and it must articulate the problem that our prospect has that they don't want. Engage is our subheadline. This articulates the result they want but don't have. Those are emotional hot buttons. You've probably heard that part before. Okay, now educate shows how you, your product, your service is superior to your competition. You must make your business unique. It must stand out from the crowd. It must make your prospects say to themselves that they'd be an absolute idiot to buy anywhere but you, regardless of the price. And then the last part of this is our offer. Now, typically, our offer is an informational offer, and this is designed to reach both the people who are ready to buy now and those who are still researching. This initial offer is typically not a financial transaction. So most websites and most advertising offer something that only appeals to the prospect we call a now buyer. So that's our little guy here over on the far right. He's happy, he's ready to buy. Downside of this is that he's a very, very small part of the market. His primary concerns are vendor selection, who he's going to buy it from, and why he should act now. The rest of these people over here on the left and in the middle, they are researching. They need information. On the far left, these people are looking at learning about the benefits of ownership. Why should they buy? How would this help them? Why should they invest? Okay. The second piece that you need to learn, that anybody needs to learn when they're getting ready to invest in something, is the objections to ownership. Why should they not buy? Under what circumstances is this option a bad idea? And under when is it a good idea? We need to know what's going to be the best deal for us. It's not about the price. It's about what makes this option work or not work for us. We need information. So do your buyers. Typically, it's easy to get the benefits of ownership from people that you're trying to buy from. It's very difficult to get the objections to the ownership. Very, very difficult. So as the expert, you can help guide your prospect through this process. He needs to know the upside, he needs to know the downside. He needs to know if it's a fit or not. Okay, so here's an example. Here I am using a website. We're talking about websites, so I'm going to use a website. So this is a child psychologist, and this is a very sadly typical site. In fact, this site actually looks a lot better than most of the sites that I see. He does have a headline. There is no interrupt to it because he can't, because he's trying to be everything to everybody. Okay. There's no means of engaging. There's no subheadline. There's no market dominating position, although he could have 9 of them. So, how many websites do you see on your daily basis that look something like this? So the very first thing, the very, top of order thing that we have to do is we must create a market dominating position. So taking this guy, for example, let's say he decides to start with the top condition on his list, which is emotionally disturbed kids. These are kids that yell, scream, have a constantly high belligerent attitude towards their parents and any other authority figure that might have the misfortune of crossing their path. They scream at them. They're known in some cases to threaten people. They can't be reasoned with, and these poor parents have no clue how to deal with this situation. So here is the squeeze page that we set up for this doctor that does this. We have an interrupt headline here at the top. Are you sick and tired of the yelling, screaming, and belligerent attitude of your child? Now, doesn't this directly address the problem that these parents have and they don't want? It sure does. And then our second step is engage. And this, of course, is the result that they want but don't have. Now you can discover the secrets to controlling your child and instantly restore peace and quiet in your home. Isn't that bullseye number 2? Yeah, absolutely. The next step, of course, is educate. So in his old site, he attempted to educate, but he couldn't. So that video said, "Greetings parents, I want to welcome you to Remarkable Parenting. You will find tons of great information here with hundreds of pages of articles." Now, is that what a visitor to that site actually needs? Hundreds of pages of articles to comb through and pray that you've come up with some little nugget that might work? No, you need a magic bullet and you need it right now, right? Right. So here's the new script that we wrote for him. As a parent, are you struggling to gain control of your child's attitude and emotions? Is your child yelling and screaming at you while often displaying a belligerent, sometimes threatening tone that no matter what you do or try, you just can't seem to get under control? My name is Dr. John Smith, and every day I help parents just like you learn the techniques that solve these frustrating and destructive behavioral patterns once and for all. In fact, let me prove it to you. Enter your first name and email in the box to the right, and I'll send you a series of 60-second techniques to immediately restore peace and quiet in your home. Do you think that might just get a few more prospects to respond to this message? Absolutely. And that brings us to the final component of the conversion equation, which is the offer. So going back to the old page, the offer was for a free consult. This works for a now buyer. It doesn't work for a researching buyer. So what do you think happens when a researching prospect sees this kind of information? Well, the now buyer, he's fine. He'll pick up the phone and he'll call. These people over here, they're not sure if this is the right solution yet. They don't know. They're not going to pick up the phone and call. And you couple that with, so when your offer is to call me, that basically says, let me corner you on the phone and talk you into something that you might not quite be ready for. I'm pretty persuasive. I can talk you into anything. That's certainly how we feel when the phone rings. We don't answer the phone unless we know who it is. And we certainly don't call anybody that we don't have to. Right. So this type of offer is called an incentive offer, and that works typically for common purchases, emergency situations, and impulse purchases. Your kid is traumatizing you. You would probably call this guy. So here's the new offer. And it's this last line. Enter your first name and email in the box to the right, and I'll send you a series of 60-second techniques that immediately restore peace and quiet in your home. Now, first off, how much risk is this offer? It's asking your name, it's asking your email. It's easy enough to, just hit the spam thing if it doesn't live up to its expectation. Easy, bam, it's gone. And it does offer what they really want. It's a magic bullet. It promises a magic bullet. And I would expect that you probably understand why this is called a squeeze page. There's no navigation, there's no blog posts, there's no advertisements. Yeah, so there's really only one action they can take, which is enter their contact information. That gives them the proof that our doctor can do what he says, which then sets them up for the consult. We're going to take a quick look at his traffic and conversion numbers. So he's getting 300 visits a month. They're coming in from like a pay-per-click campaign somewhere. An average of 30 people, so 10%, call the office asking about the consultation. 3 of those people, so 10% of that number, consent to the consult. All 3 of these typically become patients when they get in front of him. But 1%, what happened to those other 297 people that they came to a site, they needed something? Isn't there something we can give them? With the squeeze page, he's still getting the same number of leads per month. That's not going to change. Now, though, we have a whole lot of people who are going to opt in for this. They came here for a reason, right? And they're going to opt in for this offer. So we're going to say 20% instead of 10% request the offer. So 60 people opt in. Now, an average of 6 of these consent to the consult, and all 6 become new patients. But did you catch what just happened here? That's right, he doubled his conversion rate. He's now getting 6 patients a month instead of 3. Right. So let's say the average sale value is $800. That's a $2,400 per month increase and a $28,800 annual revenue increase. You know, that's a new car. Here's another very quick example. This is a case study from a colleague of mine. This took place in the 90s, and it was a moving company that was indeed in Dallas. Now, Dallas at the time was probably still close to 1 million people. This was their marketing. This was all of their marketing. It was an ad like this. So they got 70 calls a month. How many people are moving a month in Dallas, do you think? Dallas, Fort Worth, that's crazy. 70 calls. They had a 16% conversion rate, which meant they had 11 sales every month. But look at this ad. I mean, you could slap any name on there, phone number, area in the world, and it would probably be accurate for just about any moving company, right? My colleague rewrote their Yellow Pages ad using the conversion equation. Here's the interrupt. Here's the engage. This is what they want, the result they want. They want protected from an unpleasant moving experience. This is the educate piece. This piece shows that we know what we're talking about and that we are different from any other moving company out there. And then we do have an offer. This one does say call now, because we want people who are ready to move to call us now. There are also 2 other offers on here for people who are not ready to move just yet. Okay, so here's the numbers. They went from 70 to 955 calls a month. They went from a 16% to a 68% conversion rate. They went from 11 to 650 sales a month. They had to hire 4 competitors, and 9 months later, they sold out for over $2 million to those competitors. And they were literally days away from bankruptcy when they started. This is how powerful the conversion equation can be. Your business might not see something that dramatic. This would be quite the stretch for most businesses. Now, I'm not going to get all hyped up and try to get you all hyped up about what this is and how it can help you. You've listened to me, you've heard my story, and you know what I'm saying can help you. So what I want to do now is to go over exactly what is in the No Holds Barred, double-barreled, not for the faint of heart website critique. How it can help you, and if it's right for you, then I want you to get it. If it's not right for you, I don't want you to get it. I'll do this without fanfare, I'll do it without hype. And here's what it is. So what it is we're taking a very hard look at your website. We're ranking it up against the conversion equation evaluator, and we're seeing what needs worked on. Okay, here's my double-barreled guarantees. I guarantee that I'll find at least one major issue that hurts your conversions, or I will refund your money, and I'm not going to waste your time. And I further guarantee that the issues we find can be resolved within 6 months. Now, this is a conditional guarantee, and the condition is that this is a lot like getting a gym membership. It's not the membership itself that builds your health, it's doing the work. So there is work to be done. So here's what you actually get. You will get what I call the double-barreled critique of your site as a marketing piece. You're going to come away with an action guide to double your conversions, and in so doing, give you the opportunity to market to a lot more people. You'll be much clearer on what you actually do for your clients and what you should focus on to be the market leader in your niche. We do it live on Zoom so that you get to have Q&A. In fact, I recommend that you bring your business partner if you have one, so they can ask their questions, as this is not something I will do over and over for you. Now, this is a real world $497 value. You get an action guide and the session recording. So the conversion equation evaluator scorecard, which I'll use. I'll have it up on the screen and I'll be marking away as we go. This turns into your action guide, which I will send to you. The recording is useful for review and again for sharing with a business partner or spouse, so you don't have to attempt to explain what we covered, why it's so important. So this is a real world $997 value. You also get a bonus second session. You don't get me just once, you get me twice, yay! A second session where we will see how much money you're leaving on the table in your business with the marketing that you have. Typically, I find more than $100,000 in annual revenue. This is not just a one-time jackpot. It's annual recurring revenue that you'll be able to, bring into your business again and again and again. How much would that be worth for you in 10 years? 10 years, that would be $1 million worth. It might be more that we find for you. I've certainly found much more than that for some clients. We'll look at 2 or 3 areas. We will record the session. Yes, you'll get a copy of this video as well. And this is a $1,997 value. And of course, there is the double-barreled guarantees. There are issues on your site. I guarantee you that. And most of them will be resolved in 6 months. Now, this is easily a $3,493 value. But because I want to reach as many people as possible, as many small businesses right now, and help them with their economic recovery, the investment for the first 5 slots is only $197. And I do apologize in advance. This offer might already be gone by the time you view it. This is for the first 5 slots. After those slots are filled, the investment goes to $497. That is still a very good deal. It's easily worth 10 times that. So you should act now. Act sooner rather than later, as these will go fast. Okay, so there's a button down below this video, which should look like this. That button will take you to PayPal, then to my calendar and a pre-appointment questionnaire. You'll leave some information for me so I know a bit about you and your business, so I can find your website. We'll meet at the appointed time on Zoom, and we'll take your website and your business to a whole nother level. Thank you for your time. I'm looking forward to helping you grow your business.